So I'm Huon Hooke, this is The Real Review, and today we're talking to Nic Bowen, who is the newly appointed this year Chief Winemaker at Howard Park Wines based in Margaret River, Western Australia. And of course Howard Park is one of The Real Review's top wineries of 2021 for Australia. So welcome Nic, and it's good to have you on camera.
Thank you very much, good to be here.
So you've relocated back to your home state of Western Australia after having a stint in Hardy's Tintara Winery, and sparkling wine obviously is a bit of a specialty, and that's something that Howard Park is also pretty big on with their Jeté brand. I think I pronounced it correctly.
Right, yeah.
Do you have any plans for that, or is it steady as she goes?
No. Yeah, very much some plans to get to evolve that program a bit more and build off, a fantastic base that Janice had built for that brand. We're looking at some varietal changes throughout the range, and certainly seeing a bit of evolution in how we source as well. Looking at the ongoing development of the Mount Barrow vineyard in Mount Barker. It's one of the cooler and more elevated sites in Western Australia, and lends itself really well to sparkling wine production. So allowing that vineyard to play an integral role in the sparkling program will be something that we'll be developing, but also pulling apart the individual labels, the Petit Jeté, the Jeté, and the Grand Jeté, and giving them sort of quite clear personalities and varietal mixes in the medium term, and then looking to layer more and more complexity into this program as we go forward, with the introduction of things like oak and extended lease time and a few other tricks I've got up my sleeve.
If there was one factor that you could say that you could pin the quality and the success of Howard Park wines onto, what would that be?
I think very much the willingness to go and source and purchase vineyards to suit the requirements of the company, and then to develop those under the lead of Dave Botting. And now Steve Kirkby to really maximise our viticultural resource.
So going back to your origins, your father, of course, is a winemaker of note who was one of the chief winemakers at Horton's way back, Rob Bowen. Is there any particular wine that you can trace your passion for winemaking to? Was there a light bulb moment that happened?
Dad did bring home only last weekend a 2004 Gladstone's Cabernet, Margaret River, and that was a really stunning wine. And again, to revisit that wine on such a fantastic vintage was a bit of a revelation. For things like Cabernet, I've been making a lot of McLaren Vale Cabernet of recently, and in the Accolade group, we certainly see the wines coming from Horton on a regular basis for Thomas Hardy consideration, but certainly we would sort of share wines on a regular basis. So I think in recent history for me, certainly Horton and sort of some of the other Margaret River producers have certainly been the ones that I've been keeping an eye on closest, and then the occasional bottle of Bordeaux will sort of sneak into a tasting here and there, and sort of definitely with a sort of a textural element inspire us to push a bit further. So inspiration is never far away from the tasting bench for me, and I hope I can apply my winemakers with the same inspiration on the tasting bench to really give us inspiration to push further. So, having Dad's wines from his time at Horton it's certainly been a handy resource to draw on.
Of all the Howard Park wines, and there's quite a big range of them, is there one wine that that you particularly enjoy, that's your favourite?
I think having immersed myself in the program a lot more now, I'm the two wines that are really have been a nice homecoming and a bit of a round circle, having sort of grown up in my early years in the Great Southern, is the Prongerups and Mount Barker Rieslings. I just love that. There's a lovely almost saline textural element that you get particularly out of the Prongerup vineyards, that I sort of see as a textural tone almost akin to some of the German Rieslings I've been lucky enough to drink, and the Franklin Shirazes certainly had, again, sort of exposure to those through the Horton and Hardy's programs I've been working through, but to see those wines sort of stand alone rather than a sort of a blending component we would use to blend with other wines in the Hardy's portfolio is fantastic. You see this lovely sort of black fruit, almost sort of Creux Hermitage-esque, lovely sort of gravelly tannins and black and blue fruit. Those wines, I'm really sort of the Scottsdale Shiraz, which we make, and the Howard Park Rieslings are the ones that I've certainly been migrating to on a regular basis to taste, and really I'll sort of use that as a very good beachhead to certainly push through our sort of quality ambitions. They're fantastic wines.
We've just been talking to Nic Bowen, the new chief winemaker of Howard Park Wines in Western Australia. Thanks again, Nic.
No worries. Thank you.